What if the things you've been praying for are already in your life, but not just in the form you expect? Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Dream Dendu podcast. Today, we'll be talking about the blessings you're ignoring. So, a lot of times, the problem isn't that we do not have blessings, the problem is that we overlook them. Because the more familiar something becomes, the less special it feels. So, the job you prayed for becomes just work. The relationship you really wanted becomes just normal or at times even boring. The opportunities you sought after becomes just regular to you, not necessarily because they lost value, but because they became familiar and you barely acknowledge them. So comparison is one of the easiest way to actually lose value of what you have. You start looking at someone who is doing better, someone who is moving faster, and someone who you feel is achieving more, and suddenly your life feels small, not because it is, but because you're measuring it with someone else's journey. So you're measuring what you actually have, you're measuring your journey with someone else's. In that moment, you stop seeing your blessings clearly. Another reason why we actually ignore the blessings we have is because they do not come in the way or in the form we've imagined. So take for instance, you're praying for opportunities and they come in form of responsibility. And those responsibilities are actually there to build you. You get responsible for certain things which help open doors to other things. But because you've actually imagined how your prayers should actually come to pass, you've imagined the way God should work it, the way God should align it for you, you fail to see that responsibility as an opportunity. Let's say you're praying for growth and then they come in form of challenges. Challenges actually build you. So after, I'm sure you know that when you're built, you've actually grown. But then again, you have pictured how God should answer that prayer of yours. So you ignore the challenges that actually are helping you grow. You ignore the growth, you ignore the answer to that prayer God has given. You prayed for change and then it comes as discomfort. And because all these answers do not really seem exciting, you do not take them as answers, you do not take them as blessings. They are often ignored. First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18 says, in all things give thanks. In all circumstances give thanks. I was reading the scripture and something struck me. It didn't say give thanks for all things. It says in it. So it doesn't matter if the situation you're going through is difficult, if it's easy. While you are in that situation, whatever circumstance you are in, it says give thanks in it. Meaning there's always something present that is worth acknowledging in every situation. There is always something present, I repeat, that is worth acknowledging in every situation. So it's important that you give thanks in all circumstances. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. Gratitude is an awareness. Gratitude is a mindset. Gratitude is choosing to see what is already working instead of focusing your attention on what is missing. Because when all you see is what you don't have, you would never feel that what you have is enough. So here's what I want you to do this week. Let it be a shift of mindset. So instead of looking around for new changes in your life, take a moment, slow down, and look at things that are already working. Look at things that are present. Look at things that are meaningful. And be grateful for them. Not because anything changed, but because you finally saw it. So ask yourself, what have I been praying for that I already have in some form? What have I stopped appreciating because it has become normal? Because sometimes we're so focused on the next blessing that we ignore the current one. And in doing so, we miss the beauty of where we already are. So slow down, guys. Look again. There is more in your life than you've been giving yourself credit for. Dream boldly, do intentionally, but please don't ignore what is already in your hands. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode, and see you next Thursday. Bye.